if you're on the streets and let's say somebody points you out for being different, for not being as linear as them, for not being, to be more specific, as white as them, the immediate response to that would definitely show me that the inability to evolve from that cult thinking implies to me simply that this group of people, being the white people, have been nothing more than an old tradition, nothing to be considered for the present, no value for the present. And I do not say this with offense. I say this simply to cure the mind of the black man who has been singled out, who has been subject to racial abuse, to systematic targeting, to profiling, to every claim in the book which the white people paint on him, notwithstanding that it is the white people who created that program and are the same people who are responsible for the things that they inflict on the black man, that they inflict towards themselves. The systemic root cause of accusing someone, of throwing an accusation, is a mere sign that there is a problem where perhaps the issue and the core-rooted problem lies due to the fact that these people are actually unaware, unable to provide evidence besides their own claim. They are unable to actually learn, hence the reason that America and people who reside within the Western Hemisphere have been have lacked so much understanding as to how to understand black people. Your inability to understand one of the most populous people on earth, contrary to how you paint them in the United States or the North American Hemisphere, is a sign to me that you are operating in a backwards culture. Your philosophy, which states that substances such as recreational use of anything that you have legalized recently, you legalize it and then you throw the black people in jail for smoking it, or you accuse the black people of DUI for taking it. That shows me that there is no linear direction and that you are backwards. Your reliance on old traditions, exploiting the black man, still using the fact that he is black to prove that you deserve a place within your own economy, and you still, despite everything the black man has built for you from the soil to the ground up, still rely on the exploitation of the black man, even though he has extraordinarily contributed towards making the Western Hemisphere one of the most economic, growing places in the world, and you still exploit him. That shows me that given that this has been happening for 400 years, you are backwards and nothing has changed. And even countries such as Africa, who have been exploited, have been known to change their status away from white people, gaining independence, gaining identity, securing culture. I encourage you, if you are within the Western Hemisphere, please, to block out your ears and to throw up like the puke that white people have indoctrinated into you. To filter out your homes every day from any disease or anything that the white people have created and indoctrinated for you to believe. You will find that the methods that white people use to cure the same problems that they created, only have been proven to expand the problems and inherently make them worse. You have white people, you have white doctors who claim that they have cures, that they have treatments for a various broad range of perhaps medical conditions. Yet when it is time to approach the black man and cater to him with decency, they are incapable of accommodating these medical conditions for the black man, whether that's a black man who is in need of intervention from brutality from the police. If we even take George Floyd, for instance, who was out of breath from a police officer on public camera saying that he could not breathe, all because he was trying to buy a convenience store item. And the white paramedics were incapable of responding to this, despite the open public situation of I'm going to not even take it to that extreme. My point is simple. How can you claim to be so progressive when your ability to intervene on a black man is still degrading? It is still going back. I have never in my life seen a situation like that, where a unarmed black man is treated as such. You should see the situation, and I encourage you to research this right now. Go and see how successfully this same American system was able to detain, I think it was an alligator or a crocodile in Florida. There was a wild alligator and a wild crocodile, and they were able to intelligently, systematically maneuver a sense of wiring, strategy, and approach towards preventing this reptile from causing further harm. And that reptile clearly proved to be a greater threat than a low-income black man who is unarmed and just trying to buy a convenience store item. The fact that you can solve an animal problem and you cannot solve a black man's problems shows me that you are the image of what everybody in the world would put an F on a blank piece of paper test. So this is how you need to see the situation. That it is concerning how the progress is noted amongst only white people. But then when you look at the situations and you ask the black people who are also supposed to be residents of the country, but are not considered to be upheld to the rights of white residents, that either tells me two things: that you, number one, have second-class citizenship, which should be stated on your law, even though I know there was once upon a time a law that stated that black people weren't even classified. Or that tells me another thing, that you are working based off of an immoral system that, since you have been incapable of holding the black man to a standard of citizenship, you are not able to actually call yourself a progressive country because you are not even housing citizens. That right there alone, the George Floyd treatment, which has had rippling effects. Let me not even get into discussion of the other situations I've mentioned on my channel, or even just in general. That right there, I believe, is the idea. That is exactly why this country or this part of the world is performing off of a system that clearly cannot focus on progression. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you're not progressing, then what are you doing? I don't know. And I will never in my life dive into the politics of white America. Certainly for as long as they are not willing to actually gain perspective on the experiences of black man rather than using campaigns and white created programs to try and exploit and benefit off of black people who fall into the traps that they create for them.